Welcome back to Sonic Origins. This is now Sonic CD. And before you say anything, yes, this is going to be the American soundtrack because I
can't believe you.
I honestly thought that they had removed the option from the original Taxman versions for the Origins port, but I didn't realize that there were options on the title screen. Well, to be fair, when you play like the story mode, you don't get the title screen. I'm editing in the title screen for Sonic 1 and 2 and CD because they did you don't get to see those if you play story mode on Sonic Origins, so But here is awesome, and it is a lot louder than the rest of the game because Sonic Origins is good.
Well, to complement the Origins intro, I love the little character they added to Amy. Makes it a lot more fun. It feels a little reminiscent of like the 30th anniversary comic from Ian Flynn. So that's always cool.
Yeah, it's I think they're surprisingly consistent with the new writers, I guess, because it's like Ian Flynn's kind of writing everything now, and Tyson has his animating everything now. This opening is probably one of the best animated openings for any game ever, by the way.
I want to disagree, but I can't think of a whole lot off the top of my head, but there are some good ones. But this one is definitely on the top, but I don't know how much I can count it just because it, if you watch the original version, it's pretty rough on a SEGA CD.
It is, but like, I mean, it's a SEGA CD. What are you gonna do?
So Sega doesn't make good hardware.
The Genesis.
The Genesis, Super Nintendo is still better.
See, look, if you see that arrow there at the bottom, those are more options to the right. I didn't freaking notice that. So here we go, American soundtrack.
You know what? There's a lot to talk about with the American soundtrack, and we at least all know, I assume we all know the JP soundtrack, so we can compare. I'm just gonna throw this out of the way. Stardust Speedway. That's what it is. Stardust Speedway American's better. Anyways, let's talk about Palm Tree Panic.
I was just gonna say you're kind of right. I kind of agree, but Palm Tree Panic is Green Hill Zone 2. This time with triangle hillsides instead of checkerboard hillsides.
Ooh, I can't wait for Green Hill Zone 3.
Well, Sonic 2 came first, so wouldn't Emerald Hill be Green Hill 2?
Don't worry about that.
But yeah,
this is Sonic Origins, the definitive way to play these games, and Sonic CD takes place first. So this is Green Hill 2. Sega's rewriting history.
Yeah, technically this game's also just on an alien planet, just out of nowhere.
Yeah. To bring up the game a bit, this game's fucking weird. I played this when I was younger, and especially with the US soundtrack, everything about this game is so fucking bizarre. There's time travel, the soundtrack does not match any of the other games. The level design is wonky. Yeah, I don't know how I still feel about it. It's weird.
It is like the most direct sequel to the first game we will ever get. Because
even then, this still feels completely different to the first game. The first game felt more focused. This is just, I don't know what it is.
Well, they clearly, it's honestly, it's interesting to talk about the history of this, but we kind of have to talk about Sonic 2 a little bit for that. But so as most people know by now, Sonic Team sort of split with like Yuji Naka and all the like actual programming talent going to America to make Sonic 2.
Right.
And Naoto Oshima staying in Japan with the rest of Sonic Team to make this game. So this is a more...
I should add, clearly Sonic 2 had the level designers as well.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Sonic Sonic CD feels more like artsy fartsy kind of game design, whereas, you know, Sonic 2 is much more polished in terms of level design and gameplay mechanics and all that sort of stuff. Because, like, they wanted to showcase what the Sega CD can do, you know? So that's why there's a whole animated opening, and that's why there's these trippy ass special stages that I don't like.
Yeah, this is one of those games that stands alongside these storybook games where it has so many ideas that make me think, I can't believe they thought of this, to, oh my god, they actually implemented it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It's very weird.
I'm going to say weird a lot.
Oh yeah. This game is just weird, so it makes sense. But these special stages in particular, in the original version on Sega CD and like the PC version stuff, they run like ass. Complete and utter dog shit. They are effectively unplayable after you've played the Taxman / Origins version. Because, like, ugh. Same with the whole game. The original version of CD is, like, it's even more janky.
Yeah, I have never touched the original, but from what I hear, I am glad I never did. Because I already struggle to like this version.
I mean, I think we might be sounding a little negative, but it's like, I think this game's good. I just don't think it compares to the rest of the classic Sonic games, you know?
I don't know if like Sonic 1 is like the middle tier of everything, where it's like, this is as basic as you can get. I'd say this is the first step below into like what I consider to be bad. Personally, I don't want to fully call it bad and put it on like the same level as like 06, Shadow, and such, but like I don't want to give it too much credit and put it anywhere near the other Genesis games, because there is a very big difference in quality between all of them.
That is fair. It's just, I don't know. It's like, if you view classic Sonic, okay, well, real quick, that was a robot generator. I'm not going to be going for those because
No one does.
Well, some people do. And some people get really offended when you decide to go for the time stones instead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but
I only ever get the robot generators here so I can get the pink robot.
Ah, that's true.
Plus, they're actually easy in this one. After this, they're stupidly hard to find.
Oh yeah, later, I had to use a freaking guide when I tried to go for him myself. But that just means we get to see more of these things.
Ugh. I don't like it.
We don't get good special stages until arguably Sonic 2. Most people would say Sonic 3.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how much you got into like the technical side of this, but is this Mode 7? Or is it different from what the Super Nintendo had?
I don't know. I think Mode 7 is the specific name given to the SNES.
So then either way,
technology.
it's still just sprite rotation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is basically what Mode 7 is, just on a Sega piece of hardware.
Yeah. Man, imagine if they tried to make Doom with the Sega CD instead of just the 32X.
I mean,
or it could have been that one game that used both systems, but
I mean, Doom was on the SNES. They could have done it.
Yeah, it wasn't good there either.
Was the original Doom good?
The original Doom's good. Just only on PC.
I guess. I'm not...
Well, great. We're doing a commentary on that now. We're going to talk about Doom. But...
we will. Yeah.
Other than 2016. Because that's already happening.
Bad future. So yeah, in CD, if you don't get all the robot generators, your Act 3... Well, or if you go to the future in any of the other acts, it'll be bad future, so like it's all polluted and all the trees are dead and roboticized and
Environmentalism.
yeah. But if you get the good future, then it's all very flamboyant and colorful and animals hopping around everywhere. Yeah, that was the first boss. Easiest freaking thing in the entire series.
It should also be noted that in the Good Future version, the boss gets a different color palette, with the notable one being this first boss where the mecha is completely pink.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Like I said, flamboyant.
looking at that thing while having the boss music playing is great, because that's definitely one of the creepiest boss themes I've ever heard.
Yep.
Outside of something like, I don't know, Silent Hill, if you can call that music.
Yeah. So I guess we should probably mention this game's new characters, because that's like the biggest thing of note of this game, other than the varying soundtracks. Is we now have 2 new Sonic characters, Metal Sonic and Amy Rose. They're Metal Sonic's like a fan favorite. I don't really know how the general fan base feels about Amy. So
Amy likes Sonic. That's
Amy
about
does
it.
Like Sonic.
That's about it.
Except
until Ian Flynn started writing for her. Now we got something going. But otherwise, until then, she's kind of unbearable. I don't know how basic she is.
I'll be honest. We're talking about Amy's character and Ian Flynn writing her. I didn't like her in Frontiers. But that's just me. I don't know. We'll talk about that when we get to Frontiers.
Yeah.
But I think Metal Sonic is like one of the most iconic additions to the entire franchise. He's just such a cool freaking design.
I definitely loved this game when I played it younger, just because of Metal Sonic.
And the freaking Godzilla fan within me, as a kid, was like, "Oh, Sonic has a robotic version of himself too. That's the coolest thing ever." I need Sonic kaiju battles. But
Sonic and Shin Godzilla.
I don't know.
Actually, Shin Godzilla is just Giganto from Frontiers.
True.
Which is funny because Frontiers has a lot of Evangelion references, which we'll get to when we get to that. And both properties are made by Hideaki Anno. It's great.
Yeah. Now, with how much we keep bringing up Frontiers, you'd think we're doing that game soon, which we are. Don't worry. But
they don't need to know that.
Well, if we're gonna talk about it anyways.
I fucking hate these.
Oh yeah, this level is Spring Yard Zone from Sonic 1, only quadruple to quintuple the amount of bouncy shit in the way.
That's like my problem with most of the level design in this, is it just takes the ideas from Sonic 1 and makes them worse, unless it's like an original level like Quartz Quadrant or Wacky Workbench, which feel a bit more unique, though.
Yeah.
Wacky Workbench sucks.
Yeah, the level design here does not really feel Sonic-y, because it's like 100% fully, like, hands down focused on the explorative factor for some reason, because all there is to find are the freaking robot generators.
Is this like a future oil rig or something? I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at.
I've never freaking seen the backgrounds to these, or I've never paid attention to the backgrounds of these. I freaking love weird special stage details like this, because we're never gonna freaking get a game where we actually learn anything about the special zone.
True, but they do at least keep bringing them back, like Mania did.
Yeah.
Mania is almost more bizarre than this.
I think CD, in terms of like art style and level design and everything, is probably the closest we'll get to. This is Sonic, but the entire game is in a special stage.
Yeah, I will say this is definitely the most unique feeling Sonic art style until since after this, is 2 or is 3, which is a bit more cartoony, and then after that it just mainly goes hardcore anime for a while. Which is ironic since this has the anime opening, but whoa.
Yeah, weird. There was a stutter in my recording.
But yeah.
Don't ignore that. Hopefully that's not a constant thing that I'll have to re-record this. But
at least outside of the opening, it has a pretty nice art style to it.
Yeah, it looks
this is fun game design, right? This is fun.
Yeah, look at all the points I'm getting.
Oh yeah, points in a Sonic game. I want those.
I want those. Have you seen my scores in Sonic 3? They're in the freaking 2 millions.
I'm gonna ignore you for a sec. Is that something that happens in the original? And if it is, why did he keep that? That's such a bizarre thing to keep.
Keep what?
You just gain all your speed as soon as you enter that loop, so you immediately go to the top. It's weird.
Oh, yeah. I mean, technically Sonic 1 did that with its S loops, but it only gave you like a tiny burst of speed if you entered it at like your absolute minimum walking speed. But in CD everything is just like the code base from Sonic 1, but a bunch of people that don't know how to code dicked around with it pretty much is what it feels like.
Are these half pipes the precursors to Sonic 2?
Well, if you say that, then you'd have to be like the ones in Spring Yard are the ones.
Oh yeah, forgot about those.
Because this, like I said, is Spring Yard, but with it's on some sort of LSD because of the art style, and they added 1 million bumpers everywhere. And that's basically this entire stage.
And the bumpers are the reason I hate any casino level.
You're just bad.
Oof. Oof. Maybe I'm just getting PTSD from Heroes.
Ah, yes. That's a valid reason, because
if you know, you know.
We'll get to that game in 10 years. It's fine.
Also, this game has so many invisible walls that are like vertical and go up, where in literally any other Sonic game you'd just be crushed.
Well, it's like
it's weird.
Yeah, it does have that sort of thing, but you also gotta like look at the level design from the time travel perspective, because the level designs do change slightly between each of the past, present, good future, bad future. Like in the past, there might be more like natural openings and terrain to get rings that you can see in the future or in the present, but you can't get to because there's a wall in the way and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that confused the hell out of me when I was younger.
Oh yeah, I didn't even freaking know about the time travel thing when I played this. I like hit a pass sign and Sonic started sparkling, but then nothing happened because I got stopped by a wall, and I was like, huh, that was weird.
I knew about the time travel because I'm a good boy and read the description. I could see someone didn't. You got lucky there.
Listen, I had it on the Sonic Gems collection.
So you played the full original.
Oh yeah, I played that.
Okay, I started on Taxman version.
Oh well, by the time that came out, I think everyone knew it had time travel in it.
I didn't, because I read the description like a good boy.
I was a freaking like 10-year-old playing this on my GameCube with the crappy frame rate and the special stages.
Also, that was a beta Sky Sanctuary in the background.
Kinda. They use that, one fan game uses that in its background. I think it was like Sonic XG or something like that.
Never heard of it.
It was like one of the first really solid classic Sonic 2D fan games. Yeah, it's an oldie. I remember seeing footage of it and thinking it was like a real Sonic 5 or something.
Oh, I should also add, since this has recently been announced, but we'll probably do more commentaries of these games with Amy playthrough, because she's coming later this year.
Yeah.
That's
Sonic.
awesome. And then we can talk about the JP soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, I guess for the Sonic Origins Amy playthrough, we could maybe switch roles, like who played what, I guess.
Yeah.
So
you
that'd
can
be
play.
fun.
You can play both. You can play Sonic 3 as both Knuckles and Amy. Have fun.
Yeah.
Aren't you excited?
I am excited because that's the best game ever made, and this game is not. Yeah, I felt bad that like I got Sonic 1, 2, CD, and stuff for the classic Sonic games, but then I realized you got 3 and Knuckles and Mania, so I don't feel bad anymore. You got.
Wait, I got Mania still.
Yeah, you get Mania still.
Oh. Haha, time to fuck that up.
Because I'm gonna do like the encore mode or whatever.
Ah. Look at this. We're pointing out commentaries mid-videos. Aren't we productive?
Yes. This is behind the scenes.
This is content.
And this is Labyrinth Zone 2.
Okay, I actually kind of like this zone. I don't know why. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure.
Well, you love
'Cause, like-
Labyrinth according to our Sonic 1 commentary. So,
Okay, this zone is just fucking weird. And especially with the English soundtrack. The JP soundtrack as well. I love both zone music. But, like, there's just a weird atmosphere to this level, and I love it.
yeah. I do quite like.
And then there's just so
this
much
level
weird
too.
shit like this, where it's just, what the
Well,
fuck?
Who made
this
this? You're supposed to enter this part from the other side, but you can get to it from down here. And I don't know why that spring is there, because there's no reason. You can't go up that way from the other side. Or you need to go up that way from the other side. It's really... The level design in this game is very confusing. Like, you'll compare if in Sonic 1 and 2 and 3 and Knuckles, you'll see that the level design is very, curvy. There's a very distinct set of pathways to explore. This is just kind of, let's throw some things in a huge level. And
See, that's why I like this
does.
level. This level is the epitome of, oh my, I can't believe someone thought of this, to, oh my god, they actually did it. And it's like the most obvious with this level, and I don't know, I find something charming about it.
It kind of feels to me like it's a weird comparison, but it's like Mario 64 levels, but in 2D, because they're kind of open sandboxy in a way.
Yeah.
But there's like nothing to do in them. That
Wait, is there no drowning music in this?
Nope.
Huh.
In CD it just always does a boop whoop boop whoop boop whoop.
Huh.
That's it. It's kind of lame. Wow! And yeah, suddenly fucking burst into the atmosphere.
Victory.
Yeah. No teleportation, yeah. Scooby-Doo wop for you.
But where are you teleporting to? Sonic, do you know where you're teleporting to?
The past. Or back to the future. Ooh.
Oh god, it's Zanarkand. We're in Final Fantasy now.
Sonic is weirdly inspired by film quite often. Film and manga.
Yeah, that's how much of Japan operates.
This game
It's
is
great.
literally like the Sonic Back to the Future video game. And then, in 3 Knuckles, starting in Sonic 2, technically, we get the Death Egg.
Does that make Eggman Dr. What's his name?
Vader?
I'm blanking on Back to the Future
Oh,
names because I suck.
he's Doc Brown.
Yeah.
Or Rick for our younger audience.
No, Rick and Morty's dead now. They won't know it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Justin
Man.
Roiland did some things. But maybe not, because they just forgot all of his charges. But who cares?
It's because
I stopped watching a while ago.
It's because he's famous.
Perhaps.
Yeah. So, what do you feel about...
I just want to say I love that they just force you off and be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all.
Again,
That's
this zone's just so bizarre, and I love it.
This is like what I'm saying. Well, the here is kind of the equivalent to Sonic 1's like waterfall riding section.
Yeah, it's somehow weirder.
Because there is a waterfall, but it doesn't actually affect you. So you're just falling down.
Whatever the hell these flame things are that push you. I don't know what those are supposed to be, but they're there.
See, I thought they were like water projectiles since they didn't hurt.
Ah, okay. Actually, that's probably a good idea.
But anyways, I was gonna ask earlier, how do you feel about Sonic levels with 3 acts versus Sonic levels with 2 acts? Because Sonic 1 and CD have the 3-act structure.
Well,
Sonic 2 and 3 and
I prefer it
don't.
for shorter zones. Like, I always wished in Sonic 2 it had 3 acts with how short the levels are. And that's one of the things I like about Metropolis Zone. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But then in Sonic 3, if you're going to do only 2 acts, make them much longer and more substantial. Change up the music, and I think that works very well too. So it's mainly just how long I'm in a stage for, and that's like one of the things I dislike about Sonic 2 is you're in some of the stages for like less than 5 minutes.
That's true, but in the case of like Sonic CD here, I feel like the levels just kind of keep going.
Yeah, I will say Sonic CD especially kind of overstates its welcome by the end because they don't really introduce anything new or make it much harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of 3 acts of the same thing, or sorry, 3 zones of the same thing.
Yeah,
but
no acts in this. They're all zones. Oh my god.
I hate this stage. I hate it so much. It's hard, and I can't look at it.
Dude, and then like the like scrolling background other than the freaking rainbow is like the Mushroom Kingdom. You got the stupid hills and castles. It's the Mushroom Kingdom.
It makes me wonder if during the production of this game, all the staff was given LSD to take off the edge of Japanese work environments.
Guys, I saw a rainbow. I want to put that in the game.
This game is a trip.
Oh my god, it hurts
like,
my eyes.
Just take like some kind of acid rock song like Inagata de Vita, put it over this, and it'd probably work.
It's hurting my eyes. Time Stone get. We almost got all these, thankfully.
I don't have to look at it anymore.
We got one more.
Have fun editing this and looking at it.
I'll just sync the audio and be done with it.
Maybe you're just looking at different parts of Little Planet. Because, like, for most of them, they are actual, like, areas. Except for that one. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be, but, like...
Well, Little Planet is kind of tiny, you know? It's like, we see in the, like, artwork for this game, there's, like, a full rendering of Little Planet, and all you can really see are the zones that you go to, not necessarily the special stages.
Fuck you, asshole.
Yeah, fuck this
That's
guy.
right, run. Run, you fuck.
I had to get the 10 rings.
Of course.
Oh yeah, the drop dash
Very
is actually
necessary.
useful in this game, because Sonic doesn't have a jump ball lock in Sonic CD, and he never has. Which is like the one change to the control. That was cheap. My invincibility
Even the
ran
boss exemplifies what the fuck were they thinking, and oh my god, they implemented it.
out. Yeah. It's like,
What is such a weird idea?
What if the boss was underwater, so Eggman made bubbles for Sonic to breathe? It's like it seems like they had ideas, but just implemented the first idea they had without refining the idea. Because like it would have been more interesting if it was like a mecha fight underwater, and every time you hit him is when he drops a bubble. So
Okay, you know what this is? This is the Shadow the Hedgehog of classic Sonic games.
Yeah,
Where they just implement so many weird ideas, whether or not they work.
it's pretty
And clearly
much.
didn't have the time to fully refine them. Also, I love this English track. I love both tracks for this. I can't really decide which is my favorite, but I like the rock track for this. It's sexy.
The American soundtrack is very rock oriented.
Kind of.
Well, it's like more slower. Well, some stages not so much, but a lot of them are like these. They have a guitar in them at least. Like Collision Chaos, which is, you know, the pink bouncy level, has this really good guitar track. It's like, I don't know if these fit better than the Japanese versions or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want to discredit them.
It's definitely still like a great soundtrack. Both of the American and Japanese soundtracks are really freaking good. I don't see why they needed to change. Whoa, this background's cool. This looks like
this is Yavin. This is just
what?
Yavin from Star Wars without the forest.
Well, there's a forest way off in the back.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I see the pyramid type structure there, or I guess quadrilateral, roundness, whatever the fuck that is.
I was keeping it Sonic, and I was thinking of Robotropolis in the Sonic OVA, just without the big Eggman logo on the pyramid.
Ah, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I want an entire game made of just where all the stages are based off the themes in this.
That would be awesome. See, we talked about it before. I want a game that takes place in the special zone. It would be awesome.
You know, this is cyberspace.
Maybe
this is cyberspace. Maybe we're seeing the other aliens world right now.
Oh man, they
got to Little Planet before Earth, and they just left their like security, or their just part of their history here. You know.
See, that was a theory that people came up with, was that the special rings...
I'm so smart, I'm stealing everything now.
The special
Fuck
rings...
you, I'm taking your idea.
The special rings are just portals to cyberspace. Oh.
Ooh.
But no, that's lame.
I kind of like it. It'd make more sense.
I like the special zone being its own thing that the maybe the ancients knew about, and that's why they had the emeralds. I don't fucking know.
Anyways, back to the good track. Just gonna jam out here. I was going to, and then you interrupted it. Thank you.
88 miles per hour. Oh yeah, look. I'm just like, what? I was so confused.
These are clearly... I wonder if the people who worked on this went to Dimps. Because apparently... I haven't seen Sonic shorts in so long. That makes me happy.
I just had to include that after what just happened to me.
For anyone who is too young to remember those, just go look them up on YouTube. They're amazing. But they were made during the Dark Age, so they're a bit more negative on Sonic, but they're great.
Yeah, look, that's just backwards level design right there. I was underneath the ledge, because there was a freaking ledge to stand on that was close to where I wanted to go. But to get up there, you had to jump down further to get a platform that rises you up. It's like, why? Why is the level design like this?
Why are you underground now?
This whole level is underground.
Was it before? I swear there weren't as many. Wasn't as noticeable in the present.
It's a mine. Well, I think I spent most of my time down here.
Okay, that would do it.
But it is a mine. Maybe in the present in the present and future, maybe the entire upper level crust is removed by Eggman. He's raised the entire thing.
Imagine if you just see the death egg there in the background.
Oh, good future because I got all the things. Yeah, we're outside. You were right.
Haha, fuck you. Right.
They completely raised this entire fucking mountain that the original stage was under.
You know, maybe that's why they combined this with Lava Reef in Mania.
Maybe.
Since they're both in a cave. I don't know.
Well,
Kind of makes sense.
You know, they also had like pretty crystal motif going on.
Unfortunately, that means we're never going to get this stage in a Mania type game, which means we'll never get the T-Lopes version of the soundtrack.
You're funny. We're never getting another Mania type game ever again.
Seriously, though, I'd love to hear if the T-Lopes version would even be different because the present music for this stage is just every T-Lopes song in Mania.
Yeah, that is one thing.
It is his entire style.
Yeah.
It's just Quartz Quadrant, and it's great. Like, I don't want to dump on the man or clown on him or anything. It's just, you can see clearly where a lot of his inspirations came from.
Yeah. And Mania has, like, one of the best soundtracks ever. In my opinion, at least.
Also, I just want to say I love how Eggman starts shitting his pants mid-fight.
Yeah, Eggman has some fun animations.
It's a good detail.
It's like the one good thing about this game being primarily artists is that you get a lot of little details.
This game has a lot of the same issues as Final Fantasy 13, where a lot of it's clearly contributed to be most of the team being most of the team being the art team.
Yeah, but then it also leads to levels like this. Yep, I did not know that was an invisible wall when I ran through there. I just happened to bounce into it. It's a good game.
I do love the track for this, though. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's great.
This is where your teleportation, Scooby-Doo-Wops are. I love when it kicks into the melody. Yeah, it's super funky. But
see, not everything's rock.
Yeah. I just said it was more rock focused, not necessarily fully
I'm still gonna
rock,
disagree with that, but
because I don't really think the Japanese soundtrack is very rock at all. Yeah, here's the melody I was talking about. It's so funky. I always think of like Eggman doing a dance when I hear this.
Why wasn't it in Sonic Shorts? Anyways, that was pointless. You did all that for nothing. How do you feel?
I feel great, and that's partly why I don't like the level design of this, because I think in the past that leads to something, but they leave
someone
it
who
in
doesn't
the present.
someone doesn't like Wacky Workbench. Is that a hot take?
That is the coldest take ever.
The most base take in all of Sonic. Other than saying Elise is a good character.
Ow. I love this.
This is a Dimps level, 100%.
This
is like Dimps level design at its worst.
My rings didn't fall down. I'm panicking.
So like the entire later half. This is the entire later half of Sonic Advance 2.
Except in that game, you're going fast. This, you're just kind of bouncing into the stratosphere every 2 seconds.
Yeah, at least I feel like a Sonic game then. Not this.
Yeah.
This is definitely the worst level in CD.
Yeah, and thereby I think it's the worst classic Sonic level.
I have no disagreements.
Oh, and you want the freaking the robot capsule here? It's back to the left there.
Is it really?
You gotta get the past somewhere. You gotta get to the past somewhere over here, and then go all the way back that way. And there's like a platforming section that leads you back to the start of the level, but the robot generator is in there somewhere.
I hate when game devs do that, because 343 did something similar in Halo 4, where there are these terminals you can activate.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll like give you, extra context for what's going on. And most of the levels, throughout the level, you have to look around, usually find like just some hidden area. But in one level, all you have to do is just turn around at the beginning.
Nice. That's a Metroid.
That's it.
Right there.
and I could never find it, and I hated it.
See, I instinctually, whenever I play a game for the first time, I always like just turn around at the start of a level just in case.
Well, now I do because of that and Doom, but like that was a long time ago.
We're not going to get to Sonic 4 for a while, but in episode 2, in the first level of that, if you run to the left at the very start for like a whole 30 seconds, you'll get a life.
Okay, you see, that's a fun troll, but like, if it wasn't in Sonic 4, I'd like it more.
No, you talking about this game back.
Were you just like eating a sandwich there or something? Just kind of stood there for like a second or two.
No, I think I was. Again, it was it's been in June. It will have been a year since I recorded this.
Oh
so, yeah, I don't know why I paused in a lot of cases.
We are the epitome of get on with it.
Look at the background here in the good future. It's like a toy store.
Yeah. So it's like something you'd see in Kingdom Hearts.
This looks like a Kirby level, actually. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if you've ever played Kirby. It looks like exactly like...
You're gonna hate me for this. The only Kirby game I've actually played through all of is Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy.
I mean, that's fine.
I'm not like the big ones.
I'm not like a super Kirby fan either, so I don't.
I do want to play the new one. The 3D one looked like it would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I'm currently playing the Return to Dreamland remaster for Switch, which is really good. But I think Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy was the original game, so like the first game in the series. So
I like how he had a Scooby-Doo moment there where he was just running on nothing. But then he just slowly accelerates.
It would have been funny. It would have been funnier though if they gave him like a super peel out animation where he stands in place, charges like Sonic does, and then sprints away.
Okay, back to music talk. I love the track for this.
This is
great. I love this.
This is like we talked about it already. Sonic CD soundtrack doesn't really fit the mold of any other Sonic soundtrack. And I'm very glad for that because like some of these tracks are so unique and I need more Sonic songs like this one. This is
this is why I'm glad that in Gens they made a remix for both the JP and American versions.
We don't get to hear the Bad Future one until the Metal Sonic fight though. So
I like that one too. The JP, I used to not like the JP Bad Future. It's grown on me a lot more, but I still think American's better for Stardust Speedway.
You don't like the
No.
Why not?
I know people like it, but like I don't know, it's it's too weird for me.
Turn it.
It grows on me. It's grown on me for sure, but it's a hard sell.
Well, it's kind of hard for it to not grow on you when they keep reusing it.
Yeah. I did like it in Mania, though, I will say that.
The Generations remix, the Mania remix, they're all good. They had it in Sonic 4. It's a remix. Metal Sonic's theme in, like, his main boss theme in Sonic 4 Episode 2 is way better than that Stardust Speedway remix.
We need more, synth soundtracks like this and not the, EDM type stuff. Otani's been going for.
Yeah, I think Cyberspace would have benefited from music like this in Frontiers. There we go.
Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't like about Cyberspace music, is he didn't really try anything new. He just did the same thing as Forces. Though, from what I can tell, a lot of the ideas from Forces soundtrack. What are you doing?
Man, those stupid flip panels that change what freaking layer you're on are so annoying. I can't ever keep track of what layer I'm currently on. There's only 2 layers. There's only like the back layer and the foreground layer. But like those little darker panels in the floor, if you're in the background layer, then you can walk on those. But if you're in the foreground layer, then yeah. I don't like this level design.
I just want to bring this up because it was on screen for less than half a second, but there's just a giant metal statue of Eggman in the middle of the stage.
Yep.
I never really paid attention to that before, and I'm like, good job, artist.
I don't think
you earned your paychecks.
I don't think anyone even freaking knew about it until Mania, or most people didn't know about it until Mania. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the Good Future version of this. Huh.
Yeah, Good Future. This track is really good, but we get Speed.
And you
Shoes
got rid
instead.
of it. Fuck you.
Yep.
I was bopping.
And now we get the Bad Future soundtrack. Because Metal Sonic's here, and he has gray eyes for some reason.
Look at him. He did the finger thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy. He's looking good.
This song's awesome.
Yes.
This
is superior to the JP version, and I will not hear otherwise.
I prefer the Japanese version, but this song is basically tied with it for me. This fight, on the other hand, sucks. It's like, oh, let's make a race, but we'll put spikes in the road every 2 seconds. Yeah. That's fun. It's not like the freaking animated version of this at all, where they're just kind of running through loops and
I will
shit.
say that I will compliment you. You are making the physics your bitch on this. Good job.
Yeah, I am a Sonic.
Damn, you got really far.
Man.
You got really far to Eggman. Normally, I also didn't know Metal Sonic just broke there. Usually, whenever I get here, Eggman's right there too. So I think Eggman destroys him.
No,
I've never seen Metal Sonic die with that.
Metal Sonic always runs face first into the door and dies. Because that's, what they do in every time they bring him back in a 2D context. His faceplate, breaks off and everything.
Alright, this track is, it's so weird. But I do like it.
Once it gets to, the main melody, I think it's freaking amazing.
This is one of the, so...
Yeah.
Synth heavy, it's great.
It's synth heavy, but it does have we were talking about before, the guitar it comes in and it's freaking so good. Oh.
Did you just come?
Maybe.
The soundtrack's that good.
It is
there
that
we go.
good.
There's the guitar.
Yep. So it's just like a slow. I don't know.
It's another one of those stages where, oh my god, I can't believe they did that.
Did what?
Just anything. Though it is also Scrap Brain for sure.
Yeah. Sonic CD is just Sonic 1, but they went back and redid all the art and level design and made it worse. The level design.
Yeah.
Artwork, I would
bizarre.
say, is I think this art style is I prefer it to Sonic 1, at least. Sonic 1's kind of plain.
I guess. But anything's gonna look plain when you compare it to this.
True. That's true.
This game is very everything about this game is just unique. You're never really gonna find anything else like it.
Mm-hmm. I think the closest thing to Sonic CD that exists is Nights into Dreams.
Yeah, that's very weird too.
Because it has
the little I played of it.
I think the JP soundtrack composer for this game worked on Nights.
I could believe that.
And
the only track I could think of is the first level track, and it's
yeah,
pretty good and has a lot of similar vibes to this.
And they even reuse a Sonic CD song when you when you unlock Sonic in the Christmas nights, as it's one of the presents you can get in that game. So you can play as Sonic. It's the first time you can play Sonic in 3D, and it sucks. But it's playing one of the CD songs. I forget which one.
What the fuck is this thing? Why is it here?
And
why did they bring it back in Mania?
Yeah.
Why was it good in Mania?
Oh, It was good in Mania because it freaking smashed the freaking badniks. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Also, hi, Tiny Sonic.
Chibi Sonic. Chibi Sonic.
Yes, Chibi Sonic.
It would have been
doing a mini
funny.
version before Mario did.
It would have made more sense in Mania, but it would have been funny if Mini Sonic here, every ring he grabbed was a special stage.
That'd be overpowered as hell. That's just the developers being like, here, get all the emeralds. You deserve it.
It's Eggman's diabolical trap. He just keeps sending you to the hardest, like one of the random Sonic 3 and Knuckles blue sphere.
You're just
stages.
trapped in blue spheres for eternity.
Yeah. But Mini Sonic doesn't really change the gameplay at all. It's just he's small, so he can fit into small areas. And then I realized you're not supposed to go through that freaking door. It just takes you back here. So now I'm trying to rush
Level
back
design
over there.
is fucked.
Yeah, it's a freaking troll moment. You go through all this slow, like platforming section where you have to wait for the crusher, and then you see that door and you're like, oh, I gotta go through that, but no,
Yep.
You gotta go this way.
It gets me every time. I don't
Yep.
play this game enough to remember.
As a kid, when I first played this, I think I went.
You got lucky. I don't know how you managed to dodge that.
I don't know, but oh yeah, freaking
Dips.
look at that! Fuck you, Dips.
The ring disappeared right before.
But as a kid,
up.
that section I think I just kept going through over and over and over again.
Victory.
Yeah. Ba ba ba. Da, 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 da.
Dun. I prefer this to teleportation.
You're wrong. Look at
Teleportation is great, but like I always remember that over teleportation. I'm sorry.
I just realized we're at the end of the freaking game.
It kind of reminds me of Grand Metropolis for the color scheme. It's very blue.
Very blue. Oh, you mean Metropolis from Forces or Heroes?
Heroes.
Heroes is green.
I don't know why. The aesthetic of this just reminds me of that. Or maybe it's that one stage from after the sequel that was also inspired by Grand Metropolis.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they reuse some of the
I
art
hate
from
this.
this. And this. Yeah, this is just random. Unnecessary. And most of the time they're up too high.
This is also Dimp's level design.
Oh yeah, this is a Sonic Rush section where you have to fight all the freaking robots to proceed. Yeah, that's fun in a game where you're supposed to be zooming at top speed.
That's when you just sit back, mash the boost button back and forth while jam into Hideki Naganuma.
I wish I could do that here because this boss sucks.
Enjoy the boss music. This horror.
I prefer the Japanese boss music. This is just boring.
Yeah, after a while, but I like hearing it at the beginning. But longer fights like this are annoying.
Yeah, I was talking about this fight specifically. I do not
All
care
that
about
for one
getting
hit.
I do not care about getting hit in this. It's the it's the easiest final boss.
I know other than Sonic 1, but
This would be harder than Sonic 1 if you didn't have rings.
imagine if this has the rush philosophy where rings bounce further and further every time you lose them.
I'm sure there's a mod for that. You know, I say that. I've tried to find like a Dimps physics mod for the classic Sonic games.
Why do you
one's
want
done
that?
Because it'd be funny.
I guess.
Because then anytime someone talks about Sonic 4 badly on Twitter, I can just show them a screenshot of that. And then
Feel like you could have had it worse.
They'll go back to the classics to test and see if you can do that, and then I will have successfully wasted their time. Yeah, game's over. One thing to mention is that the opening and ending of this, which is from the original game, for Origins they AI upscaled it, and it doesn't look the best.
I'd have to look at it again on PC.
It's just like shots like this where it's more still are fine, but like when Sonic's like even a medium distance away from the camera or whatever, you can tell like the outlines start getting a little fuzzy, and I don't know. It's just not the best. I kind of wish they just had the original file.
Mega CD. I don't like that.
It's because
Is that what it was called in Japan? I don't like that.
Yeah, I think it was because, you know, Mega Drive. It kind of makes sense. It's the Sega Mega CD.
Ugh. Ugh.
Sonic, you should have lost rings there. There's no way.
He did it in the OVA, and I assume that's how it works here.
In the OVA, you actually see him get hit with spikes, and he starts blinking like he has invincibility frames at one point.
I'll have to watch that again.
It was
one
when,
day I'll find it, and one day I'll buy it and waste like $300.
Yep.
And I'll put it proudly next to Sonic X, and boom.
Yeah, look at this freaking Sonic Racing Metal Sonic shot in this. I want to play that. I don't want to play the thing with all the spikes everywhere.
Yeah, Toei outdid themselves on this one.
It's yeah, it is Toei. But everyone calling that version of Sonic Toei Sonic for the longest time, kind of. It wasn't like a controversial thing, but like the actual artist who was like the lead behind the animations and stuff. I think his name is Junichi. He came forward and talked about how he worked on it. Now not everyone, but people in the know call it Junichi Sonic. Or no, not Junichi, it's Junio. Sorry, Junichi is Sonic's Japanese voice actor, my bad. It's Junio Sonic. There we go. I think that was like the studio that Toei outsourced to make these animations. Junio. I don't know. I have to look it up. I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now.
You saying you don't know the entire development history of Sonic CD? Fake fan.
Okay, I expect a video about that from you tomorrow.
It'll be me reading from Wikipedia.
All right, I guess we should.
Flowers.
Yeah, the game's over.
Well, hey, we're not done yet. We still got the outro.
Oh yeah, it plays the outro and then it does like the Tails see you next game thing, which is what Sonic CD ends on. But I think this, like I said earlier, I think this game is okay. It's like it's clearly the worst of the classic Sonic games. But it's still, in my opinion, probably better than a lot of the later 2D stuff.
I like how it ends with Amy realizing she's getting replaced already.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like Amy features so prominently in these animated cutscenes. You'd think she'd be playable, but she wasn't for launch. But now she's going to be whenever Origins Plus comes out. So I guess that's.
It's almost
fine.
like they didn't finish the game. Who does that?
It's almost like they needed like a whole other year to work on it or something. And well, it just so happens Sonic Origins Plus is coming out exactly a year after the freaking original game came out. So.
Ugh. Don't remind me.